How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to talk about something that I am sure you're interested in, which is how to grow your fan base. How do you find new fans? So I'm going to give you two strategies that I know will bring in new fans consistently into your artist world. Before we jump in, I want to say I do have an awesome free resource for you. This is my free single release checklist. So if you're releasing a new song, this checklist will go through 6 weeks, exactly everything you need to do each week to ensure that you release your single with ease and make sure you don't miss a single step so that you grow your fan base and grow your music career at the exact same time. To download that checklist, you can just go to elevatedmusic.co. That's elevatedmusic.co. All right, let's jump into this lesson of how to grow your fan base. First off, I want to look at this image right here, which is an image of a marketing funnel. For those of you who aren't familiar with marketing funnels, it's basically this idea that at the top of the funnel, you have all your potential fans and you're going to slowly bring them through your marketing funnel step by step, as you can see here, down to the bottom where you actually make a sale. This video is going to be focusing on the top of funnel where you see all those things on the top that say social media, YouTube. We're going to focus on how to actually find new fans so that they eventually can enter into your marketing funnel and make you money in the long run throughout your artist career. So the first strategy I want to talk about is content creation. I'm sure you're like, yes, of course, I know about content creation. I'm already doing it. I'm posting all the time, blah, blah. Nothing's happening. Well, the reason might be that you don't have a specific strategy. So let's talk about the best content creation strategy for your music career. The first thing you want to do is think of your content in terms of buckets. I recommend having 3 to 4 buckets. 3 is a nice, easy number, so the less the better, but this will make it so you can easily brainstorm ideas of what to talk about on your content creation as an artist. For example, you could have one bucket that is simply talking about your cover songs that you're doing. So this could be YouTube cover songs, it could be cover songs you do on TikTok or Instagram, but let's say that one thing is you do cover songs consistently. Another bucket might be a hobby that you do. I know an artist here in Nashville who does bird calls, and she's really good at it. It's a weird, quirky hobby, and I love it, but that is something that'll make you stand out from the crowd. So some of your content could be talking about how you do bird calls. If you're not doing bird calls, it could be how you love the outdoors, camping, skiing, walking, or anything really that shows people who you are behind the scenes. Lastly, you could have a content creation bucket that is simply things about your music career behind the scenes, like what it's like to be behind the scenes at a show with you, what it's like to see you on stage, what it's like to see you in the studio, what it's like to see you creating songs in real time. This could just be behind the scenes footage that you consistently document and then post. Now that we've talked about the type of content that you want to create, let's talk about the 2 different types of content creation that I think generally encapsulate all content creation, and that is long-form content creation and short-form content creation. Long-form content creation can be summarized as simply anything that is 3 minutes or longer, and then short-form is anything that's under 3 minutes. In general, the platforms that are used for long-form content creation are YouTube, podcasting, and long-form blogs. In general, for things like short-form content, the platforms are Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. You get the idea. The ones where things just constantly flood you and then disappear. When you're creating a content creation strategy for your artist career, I highly recommend starting with long-form content. If you're not doing podcasting, blogging, or YouTube videos weekly, then I highly recommend that you start. The reason being that long-form content will consistently get your fans to know, like, and trust you more than short-form content. It also has the staying power of staying on those platforms for years and years and years, and fans will consistently find it over and over again, whereas short-form content platforms typically only last a couple of days at most and lose their potential for reaching new fans over time. So for your long-form content creation strategy, I recommend picking one. So pick YouTube videos, pick creating a podcast, or you can pick blogging. I do think that YouTube is probably the most powerful, with podcasting being a close second and blog being the least likely option as an artist. However, it still could work. The reason that these work is that they're tied into search engines. Blogging will help you with SEO on your website. YouTube will help with reaching people who search for things on YouTube. For example, cover videos, you might pop up if you do cover videos every week and mix in some of your own original music. And podcasting is a growing phenomenon where people become obsessed with a podcast and fall in love with the people who host it. Therefore, you could definitely gain some new fans by hosting a podcast surrounding your music or something involved with your music. Once you've picked your platform, now it's time to make a schedule. So block out 2 to 3 hours every single week at a minimum that you can use to create your long form content. Next, you want to go through and pick out the exact items you're going to talk about each week. So you block out on your calendar all the way for a whole year, same time, same place, every single week where you're going to create that content, and then go ahead and start writing in some of the content ideas from your content creation buckets and place them each week in your long form content creation calendar. This is super important so that on those days when you don't feel like creating content, you open up your calendar, you see this time, this day, I am making this YouTube video and I am going to make it about this exact thing. If it's a cover song, you'll have all 52 cover songs created for your YouTube channel ahead of time. Now that we've talked about long form content, it's important to talk about short form content. Now, in my opinion, I don't think you should be posting anything on Instagram if you haven't already created a long form content marketing strategy. Now, I know that sounds a little intense, but I think it's important. So once you've mastered the long form content creation strategy, move to your short form content creation strategy on one platform to start with. So pick Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or Twitter if you really feel like one is resonating with you more than the others. In my opinion, I've been liking TikTok the best, so that's one that I've been posting on regularly. The idea is that you still want to create content ahead of time. So once you've picked your platform of choice, you want to do the same thing you did with long form content. You want to pick one day a week, give yourself at least, again, 1 to 2 hours to batch all the content together. This doesn't mean that you can't post spur of the moment, inspiring content that happens in your life, but it does ensure that you're going to have consistent daily content no matter what happens. And it makes it so you can free up headspace where you're not worrying every day that you need to post something on Instagram or TikTok. So what I recommend doing is writing out a list for that week, 7 days of content, and then filming or writing that content if it's Twitter, and then uploading it either through a scheduler or saving it on your phone so you can schedule it each day but not have to actually make the content. Again, it's a good idea to put this time in your calendar and put it as recurring every single week for the entire year so you never miss a day. So that sums up the first strategy of growing your fan base, which is organic content creation. I think it is the foundation for any music career these days in 2022 and beyond. So if you're not doing this already, I highly recommend you start and create that regular content schedule where you're never missing a day. And the reason is because consistency is key. That's the only way you're going to see quality results. If you start and stop, and you say, oh, I'm not growing my audience, well, the reason is because you're not staying consistent. So once you're consistent for 3 to 6 months and you still don't see any results, then you can start to say something's not working. What can I do differently? All right, the second strategy is paid ads. So paid ads are an interesting part of this whole marketing strategy. I would say you are not ready to start using paid ads until you are at least producing weekly content that is long form, and ideally both long and short form content. You're also definitely emailing your list at least weekly. Before that, you should not even think about paid ads because you need to be able to bring fans into your world and then engage them so that they begin to know, like, and trust you. You can't just run paid ads, bring them into your world, and then they have nothing to latch onto because you're not giving them anything. So that said, you also need a budget of at least $150 to $300 per month to get good results from advertising. I learned this from Indepreneur, which is indepreneur.io. I highly recommend them for your resource for learning how to run music targeted ads specifically. They are an amazing resource and I can't recommend them enough. So you need to have a budget, you need to have a strategy, and you need to already have organic content creation in place before you run paid ads. Now, I hope this was helpful. I know it's a lot, and I know I'm being kind of harsh on this idea of consistency and discipline, but honestly, that is the key to success in business these days, whether you're in music or any other freelance business out there. Consistent quality content, and then bolstering it with paid ads if you have the budget and the know-how. Remember, Indepreneur is the way to learn how to run paid ads. If you have found this YouTube video helpful, then please check out my free single release checklist. You can download it at elevatedmusic.co. The link will be below as well. And you will get 6 weeks of exactly how to release your single like a pro. And then you will grow your fan base and grow your streams on Spotify. All right, I will see you all next week. Same time, same place. Thanks so much for watching.